Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, as you see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Late recording post D&D session. How was it? It was alright, I think. it didn't quite go, definitely one of the ones which did not go as I expected, but it wasn't, honestly, from my player's perspective, it wasn't for my player's actions this time as much as it was just literally the roll of a dice. Which happens sometimes, but is much rarer. Like, I think oftentimes I talk about like how off the rails some sessions get, but normally it's the other campaign. I think sometimes it's this campaign. But good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:44 PM on Monday, February 23rd, 2026. But basically, this session started with a battle, and I was like, okay, well, I certainly know it's going to be a battle. And then I was basically thinking to myself, being like, I don't really know what this battle's going to shape like, because I'm just like, basically it was a variable where it's just like, oh, are these people, which side are they going to join? Kind of depends. And I will say, to peel back the curtain, my intention was that the variable of like which side they would join would be more swayed by sort of persuasions which end up happening. But then I was also like, as the fight happened, first round happened, and basically they just completely beat up this person, and there was some things which happened, shall I say, which basically made not the main boss, I suppose, well, I guess what Embera is the main boss, be like, well, I see no reason for me to stay around here. Which was a possibility I considered. I did consider the fact that this might not be a fight to the death, necessarily. Which I was like, I'll say again, to peel back the curtain, I was like, oh, okay, that's not too bad, because then she'll just probably come back, or maybe there'll be like a bigger fight, which would be more satisfying later or something. Because this one was a very sort of impromptu one. But I had to think about it, like, I made a runtime decision, I think, in the battle, where I was like, well, okay, this person came in only expecting one person. When they find out that there was, oh, suddenly like 5-6 people on the enemy side, she's not going to stick around for that. She's like, okay, I'm clearly outmatched, I'm gone, bye. To do some other schemes, mayhaps. I guess I'll have to find out. I'll let them discover that next session. But it did kind of turn it into a rather anticlimactic fight, which it's a bit of a shame. Especially because the other campaign, I feel like, had a pretty fun fight. Well, I found it fun. I don't know if maybe everyone else found it necessarily as fun. Like, it was quite a creative fight. Well, maybe only for one person. Again, I don't know, combat's hard. But I was like, okay, this seems like it could be an interesting fight, because it would be a fight which blends sort of like social elements along with the actual fight itself, but then it just didn't pan out, you know? Just like really badly timed rolls and like well timed rolls, and I was just like, okay, I guess it happens. You know, there's a certain element of randomness which happens when you play D&D, and I'm not just talking about like checks and things like that. Obviously sometimes I'm just like, how would this person act in this situation? Well, and if I can see it going both ways, I'll be like, well, I rolled a dice, and I'll let that determine how it is. So yeah, I do feel kind of bad about the combat got cut off a little bit short, because it could have been a pretty interesting combat, I think. I'm just like, I'm like, am I going to betray the integrity of the plot for the sake of this short-term enjoyment? Maybe. But I don't think it would have been enough. To be fair, I think the main thing is, I don't think it would have been enough short-term enjoyment from this fight, because I'm going to be honest, I don't think it would have been that satisfying a fight. It's a very sort of like random one. It didn't feel that climactic. It did feel sudden, though. I would certainly say that much. But yeah, I mean, there's a real intended, like, final boss, quote, for this act. Which is much more intended, obviously. And they know about it. And honestly, it was meant to come, like, earlier, but it didn't happen. So I was like, alright, put it on my back burner. So now, I've got to double my efforts, I think, in that fight to make it even more interesting. Hopefully. I do understand though, because to be fair, this fight that they were doing, like, it was a mix of like, is it going to be a fight or a social encounter? Well, I mean, that's kind of why I designed it to be like, okay, it's a fight which has a social encounter part in the middle, but then it just didn't end up that way, and I was like, well, sometimes the dice are just not on your side. What more can I say about that? nothing else really. That's just it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that in time. There was more lore stuff, to be honest as well. A lot of lore, which again is a lot of information for them to learn, but also, to be fair, this time, rather than it being new information, I just think it's more accurate to be like, oh, we get some answers to some of the questions they had, and directions that they point in. I wonder if I did it too explicitly this time, I'm not sure. Again, these are just like DM troubles, DM worries. I'm like, okay, I'll keep it there, I'll make my DM PC character roll for it, because, I mean, they would probably think of it. So you just got to get the balance right, you know. You don't want to sacrifice the integrity, I suppose, of a story, or benefit of just short-term gain, right? That's kind of the thing I have in mind. But it's hard to get that right, especially when you have to make runtime decisions, being like, does it make sense to do this? Does it not make sense to do this? I don't know. Yeah, how's Gacha Games going? I played more of Honkai Star Rail. I finished now the 3.6 quest. That one I did actually pretty quickly, like over 2 days or something, I think. Which is a lot of fun. I'm honestly really enjoying that story. So the next part is the 3.7 story, which is going to be the final one. Vori's questline, which I'm very excited to play. Might start it today, I don't know. I also need to play a bit more Uma Musume, to be honest. I haven't made any of my aces for the Champions Meet, which is happening on 2 weeks' time, basically. Which is tough, because I'm also trying to catch up in fans, to be honest, for my guild. I'm almost on pace. What I've basically been doing now is basically doing a load of gold city runs. Fan farming gold city run. Followed by, I need to do an ace run. Because one of these days I'm going to get hit at a million fan run on gold city. Anyway, not the point. What are we going to talk about? I don't know what to talk about. Not blueprints today, I'll talk about maybe tomorrow, we'll see. I will say. Wait a minute. Oh, I see. I saw that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, somehow, or for some reason, is going to drop out. Why? I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. At all. I think it's a very cool thing. It was just a very random thing. To see it's like, oh, Dropout TV are now suddenly getting Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared streaming on them, because I know that they've got Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared they have like a TV series or something, right? They had like some sort of thing which followed up from their series, anthology of videos. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, like what Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is, I would recommend you just watch it. It's an absolutely wild trip of a show. Like I don't even know necessarily how to describe it. Essentially, what it is sort of like it's basically a fever dream, which shows talks about random topics, shall we say? Very odd, strange, bizarre, one might even say, topics regarding, I don't know. The first one's about creativity, isn't it? What the later one's about, I forget now, off the top of my head. But I will say, one of my friends absolutely adored it back at university. And I'd always quote it with her. I think even for her birthday once I gave her like little posters of her characters as well to hang up. Which I think is pretty cute. But yeah, I saw it was on Dropout TV and I was just like, what? Talk about random. It's one of the strangest things to even happen, I think. I think that's cool though, but don't get me wrong. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Great series, great show. Love it. Absolutely fascinating. Infinitely quotable. infinitely sticks in your mind. And what more can I say about it? Like, I don't even know what category it'd be in. It'd be like unsettling, weird, like, I'll say psycho horror. It's not really horror. It's just kind of like a weird trip, I would say. What category would you put it? Don't hug me, I'm scared. Surrealist adult puppet musical comedy horror. Yeah, okay, if that seems close. It is incredibly surreal. I'm gonna see, like, what happened to... We only had 3 people voice acting. Or 5 people. Ellen Goff. Who's this? In League of Legends? What are you in League of Legends? Fiddlesticks. Oh, that's you. There's one person voicing Yellow Guy Duck, Tony the Talking Clock, Shrignold, Steak and Lamp. Oh no, and someone else voices Red Guy. Creativity, yes. 2011. 15 years ago, my word. I was a teenager when it came out. Oh, that's true. Like, I've got one of my other friends in secondary school really loved it. Time's a good one. Love I basically don't remember. Computers, the only part I remember about it goes, oh look, nothing. Something like that. Food, I don't know what food is. Dreams? Dreams I barely remember. It came out too late. And by too late, it still came out 10 years ago. Yeah, there's a TV series, here we go. 2022. Job, wait, how many episodes did it have? 6. Was it the same thing? Electricity, transport, friendship, family, death, jobs. I wonder if it ever came out online. I know it's British, but even then, I don't know when it happened. Don't hug me, I'm scared. Hug me, I'm scared, what's this? Favourite mental Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared TV series. It is kind of wild that something like us got a TV series. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's actually a very cool thing. Pushing the boundaries. But to be fair, we have a lot of very sort of surrealist. Well, while this goes more like surrealist horror, we got like surrealist comedy, don't we? What's it called? Smiling Friends, right? Kind of surreal comedy. Cartoon. Are there more? I don't know. Surreal comedy cartoon. Strawberry Squid. Adult Swim like humour, that's true. What's the other Adult Swim one? Where there's like Meat Wad and stuff. Amazing World of Gumball? That's pretty surreal, isn't it? Surreal comedy animated show. Surreal animated comedy. So yes, I mean, Smiling Friends feels like the quintessential one from nowadays. I haven't even watched it. I've only seen random clips of it and been like, what? I think every time I've seen it. Big Mouth? I don't know who Big Mouth is. Adventure Time? I guess Adventure Time probably is from what I know. Again, I'm not the expert on Adventure Time, so I won't deign to comment. I mean, I'm not really an expert on them. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared either. What? Strange Planet got an animated series? Are you joking? That's crazy. Strange Planet animated series. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a comic series where basically a load of aliens. It did get an animated series. Huh? 2023. It's basically an animated series where aliens enact out things which humans do. But, like, they reframe something totally normal in with very weird language and weird way, which makes it feel foreign. It's called like denormalization or something, right? Isn't that word? I can't believe this is a thing. That's crazy. I actually do love these comics, eh? Denormalization? Or defamiliarization, is that it? Denormalization? Not a database. Okay, this is my database side talking. Defamiliarization. Perception of form. Prevention of automated habits. Okay, this seems like a therapy thing. But there's a very famous Tumblr post about it, about like sandwich honking or something. Oh, defamiliarisation, yeah. Defamiliarisation, what an interesting concept, huh? Artistic technique of presenting to the audience common things in an unfamiliar or strange way in order to enhance perception of a familiar. In order to enhance perception of a familiar. Interesting. That's an interesting way to frame it. I didn't really think about it. Coinage. I need examples in romantic poetry. To carry on the feelings of childhood and the power of manhood. What? Can I have an example? Related concept. Différance. The uncanny. Estrangement effect. From this effect. Alienation effect. Okay. I need like I want like there's a list of narrative techniques. Wikipedia page. What? When Gulliver visits the land of the giants and sees a giant woman's skin, he sees as anything but smooth and beautiful when viewed up close. Now, a common method is to make strange a story by creating a deformed plot. Suzette, I don't know enough about literature to understand what on earth this is saying to me. Tristram Shandy is defamiliarized by Lawrence Stern's unfamiliar plotting. Causes the reader to pay attention to the story and see it in an unjaded way. Okay. Anyway, defamiliarization. What a fun concept, eh? Yeah, so what's my point of all this? I don't really know, to be honest. Defamiliarization's a fun narrative technique. I don't know. How do I even get onto this? What am I going to title this episode? I don't know. Unfamiliar familiar. Like, I didn't really talk about it for the first half of this video. I don't know, I guess I just had to figure it out. Oh, maybe I should do it in blue for the blue persons. I guess I did talk about surreal humour for a while. Let's see. Tag line comment. We're getting meta in here. Alright. I'm not saying anything on note anymore. I've lost it. Conversationally, not here. So, if you haven't been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been there, darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.